viewers. What's up? My name is Tamara. I am an occult practitioner from South Africa. I specialize in Kabbalah. So, the Klippoth, the Sephiroth, Goetia, all of that good stuff, demonology, right?
Well,
And I am just I'm just excited to be on your channel today, Aldoria. Thank you for bringing me on.
uh-huh.
And I've got questions for you. So I
What
don't know. Do you want
what
to ask me
hey,
first?
wait.
Or...
Let me say hi to
Mm.
everybody because I just went we
Oh,
just went
okay, okay.
okay. Hi guys.
No problem.
Welcome. Yeah, Tamara introduced herself. You can find her at on her channel Mastering the Spirit, right? Is it Mastering the Spirit?
Yes,
Yeah, I put a picture.
mastering spirit
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Tamara.
with Tamara. Hi Hector, how are you? Hi everybody. So yeah, if you guys
Hey
have
everyone.
you c- yeah, so if you guys have questions for her, feel free to ask them and we're going to try to um get to them, you know. Um but yeah, so you explained a little bit about yourself. Now we both have done clipothic work. I thought we could touch base upon that. And I also want to know, first of all, what it's like to practicing magic where you're from. Like, are you free to express yourself in South Africa like this, or is it? What is the religious base in South Africa, and like, do you have to kind of hide a little bit, or like, what you find there's other magicians there? What's happening in South Africa?
That is a great question. So thank you for asking. In my personal opinion, a lot of South Africans are still programmed for religion. They have a religious mindset.
Hmm.
So freely practicing magic, I believe, is shunned upon. But it's something I'm passionate about, so I don't care.
Hmm. Of course.
It's what I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said,
Oh,
with all the religious programming here in South Africa, I feel like an outsider, really.
yeah, because it is a lot of Christian based there, because a lot of Christians came there
Yes.
and changed that, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure because there's all these monasteries down there helping. I don't know, right? I'm right. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's mainly, I would say it's mainly Christianity, Islam,
Hmm.
Catholic, all that stuff.
Islam is taking over where I am. I mean, I've never seen so many Islamic temples being built all around my corners of my city.
Hmm.
It's really, really crazy. Like there's more Islamic temples than there is churches now.
Are you free to practice where you're from?
Yeah, I mean, I just like you, I do everything that I still I'm very quiet. Like in the beginning of my also wanted to ask you how you began this path, right? What your first experience was. But first,
Mm.
what I do is when I was beginning my path years ago, I did try to express myself the way, like, fuck you, this is how I feel. And, I kind of went against the family, trying to explain things. But then I realized, you know what, there's no point in me trying to even get them to that level, so I'm very quiet with it, but everyone knows what I am. But if
Mm.
they come to me with questions, I'm even more hesitant to tell them. It's like, I feel now, you want to know what I know, then you have to prove my my worth, like your worth. Like, I'm not going to sit here and just debate with you and argue with you or anything like that. Even though sometimes, I do get a little upset with some things, but
Yeah.
other than, I just want peace in my mind. I don't give a fuck anymore about what people think, what they practice. Just don't put that shit on me, because then that's when I will have to step in, because I don't push my beliefs on anybody. Um, yeah, I want to know, what was your first
Mm.
experience um, with a spirit, and how you came to this path.
Wow. Well, truthfully speaking, I feel like this path has been my whole life. And
Hmm.
the reason why I say that is because I've had supernatural experiences for the longest time now.
Hmm.
And Here's the thing. I was going through occult initiations before I even got into the occult,
Hmm.
but I didn't realize it at the
Hmm.
time.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's
That's
game
why when I
because it's if I feel the same way. I think that's so yeah. Hmm.
that's why when I met my partner, Atanu, he was
Hmm.
able to raise me through the clip path very quickly because I had already done the initiations before going into the clip path for real. My whole life has been clip pathic, and I had been avoiding my calling for the longest time ever.
Hmm.
So I would say I awoke at age 20 because that's when my gifts started coming online. You know, being able to see spirits, being able to have premonitions.
Hmm.
And I was constantly running away from it. I went to university and did all this crazy boring shit, right? Like I guess human stuff. Right?
You
I was doing human stuff,
another enslavement.
pretending to be human. Yes. Right?
Yeah.
But I was always meant to walk this path.
Hmm.
I don't know why I rejected it for so long. I think I was feeling so ashamed just because of how oppressed witches are in the world and in South Africa in particular.
Yeah.
We, yeah, we are shunned for what we do.
Yeah.
And, people get murdered for practicing so called witchcraft.
It's funny because they're just so naive, but like I just want to touch upon what you said about your whole life being initiated. I s- I think about that too because when I look at my life and throughout my life, and the first time I saw Lucifer was when I was 7 years old. When I rejected the church at such a young age, I would get sick to my stomach. When my parents tried to baptize me at 12, said I rejected it. Like I was the only one in the family. I was very rebellious. That's started to take me down the road of Klopothic initiations. I went through
Mm.
so much fucking shit in so many different levels. When I did the Klopoth, completed it, it wasn't like it was more of integrating all of those aspects that I can look at within myself. And then finally, months after I did the work, I had kind of a final test in a way. It was like this final test, and then Lilith came back, and it's almost like she stamped me. I don't know how to explain it. With the final test was very difficult because it was an emotional thing that happened that I didn't understand, but it was such a deep, deep thing. But once I did it, where I am today is just at peace with myself. I don't have the struggles
Mm.
anymore. I don't care about a lot of things that I used to care about, like wanting to know so much. Like I'm just at that place of just knowing and being okay and allowing things to flow. And that took along my whole life to really, like, I just stopped resisting. And it's easier said than done. It's like it's weird, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure I want to do the clip off again, but I want to work my way from the top to the bottom. I want,
Mm.
you know, and just keep doing it and seeing what happens. If because I'm kind of okay. So Tamara did ask me this question, but I kind of went into the question without her asking me it. But
It's okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Um, I also find that when I do my work, I express it through my music and art and stuff like that. So when I make
I love
when
your music.
Oh, when I was making the Klopothic music for all of the realms that I was in, that was the energy that I was receiving, right? So, because sometimes I forget, but when I make a song on that demon, that realm, that Klippa, you can feel the energy and the vibration that I felt from that, you know, and that's how the way I.
Mm.
But yeah, I just ranted. Sorry, guys. Um, ha-
Since you said that uh, you want to do the clip path again, but this time basically from top to
Tama.
bottom, yes, I
Mhm.
feel like because you did primal craft, you're going to have a more deeper understanding of the clip path. What do you think?
Oh man. Okay, so what I do understand and realize is that um, the systems that we start to practice, they come back. They come
Mm,
back over and over and over throughout our life. I've stopped practicing the primal craft for now, just because I was doing other things. Um, there is, like, right now, I'm working with Arimon and the Devas again, which I uh last year in March did the same thing. So they come every year. They come at the same fucking time that I left off.
yeah.
So it's a never ending working with them. And yes, you do learn more. And your the state of your mind, your physicalness, your awareness. Every time you work with these systems, these entities, it's always like just a new experience. So but with primal craft, yeah, yeah. See, okay, this is the thing. When I did when I did I opened the gates to Da'ath on the 31st, and I also did Primal Crafts Phoenix Rite, which you skip Da'ath and you go straight to Thamael. So I was like, okay, because I tried it
Mm,
once and I didn't succeed. Okay. So I waited a couple years, did some other stuff, and I did it again. And I got a lot of shit from a lot of people. Oh, she can't do this again. I'm like, who the fuck are you people telling me what I can and can't do? Did it again. Okay. So I did two rituals on the 31st, and I went. I had an experience where I saw Lucifer and all of his aspects changing and doing all this stuff. I saw Satan. I saw everything, and I had the feeling of letting my ego. I had to leave my ego, and there was an emotional stuff and all that stuff. So, I was talking to a Tanu, and he's like, "Yeah, well, that sounds like Thamael." I'm like, "Okay." And then when I was
mm,
in Da'ath, I was having these crazy experiences. But now, uh, I have Lucifuge wanting me to work his realm in the other two realms. So I want to go back and work the two realms that I skipped. Okay. So there is like
yes.
things that's kind of like out there experimenting. Um, but that's where I am. And I do this path really to gain power within myself, um, understanding the
Mm,
universe in many aspects, and not to ever fall in the lies again, and just try to live a peaceful life and balanced life. That's kind of what's up. Um, yeah, but right now I'm working with Arimon, and anytime you work with have you ever worked with Arimon? I suggest.
no, I
I
haven't.
I suggest you do.
Thank
I
you.
will.
Thank you for the recommendation.
Yes, I mean this entity and the Devas is quite the current. It's all about anti-cosmic and destroying the false light spectrum within yourself and here, because the light spectrum limits our ascension. Okay,
Mm,
so even invoke
yes.
the Devas into our chakras, they destroy those light spectrums. Now, every time I work with these energies, something like nature wise happens. A tree fell down in the forest last time I worked, like with lightning, and that's a sign of Zohawk, who is
Wow.
the first man turned demon, right? Yesterday,
Hmm.
a big pine tree fell in the middle of my street, like just came right out of the roots. So
That's
it's
crazy.
contact, like serious nature contact too, right?
Mm,
Destruction of creation, going back to that nothingness of pure power. Because what I'm saying here, I hope. But yes, if you are interested, I can guide you a little bit with Arimon and show you some great work that you can start practicing. And I think that you would absolutely fall in love with it.
thank you for the recommendation. It's funny that you're mentioning just the primordial power. So
Mm,
there's something that I found out from Atanu, which I hope is okay that I mention here. Because I recently had an experience when I got to Thamael of the Clipath. My hands started burning, like
mm,
burning. They were so painful. I felt like chopping them off.
Hmm.
And I knew that that was either like that Kundalini energy or whatever. But I know he told me you had a similar experience going through primal craft of your hands, your arms burning.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about that.
What was I? That current is so strong too. It's powerful. My whole body was changing alchemical change within ourselves, right? My
Yeah.
arm, my arms, yeah, it was my arms were burning and painful. Just like how you said you want to chop. I was like, have to, like, I want to chop this fucking arm off, but I don't want to go to the doctor. No, it's physical. I know because what happening is we're invoking so much of the energy, and I didn't push it or ground it properly, and it got blocked. It
Mm.
got blocked in my arms. You know, I had to do some things, and I just like let it out in the ground in the forest, and I tried to release it, and that seemed to work. So I'm assuming that it was just extreme energy block, of something.
Mm.
But I have seen smoke come off my body when I was working the primal craft. Like I was meditating and I
Wow.
saw, yeah, I was like, is that fucking smoke? Am I gonna like combust?
Spontaneous combustion. Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm like, am I gonna fucking combust? um, but that's that shit I like. I like when I can physically see things change. You know what?
It's painful, but yeah.
Yeah, it is painful. But also, these currents are vampiric, right? So they drain you
Mm.
and fill you. Fill you up with their energy and their power. But you have to go through that initiation of being drained until like,
Yeah.
mhm,
That's
yeah,
very true. The lethargy. Like,
yeah.
do you feel like it ever really goes away?
I go through episodes, uh, because I do practice vampirism, right? So, n-
Mm.
and there's times where I will get very lethargic and I'll be very, very fucking tired. Then I'll do some rituals, try, and then after I do the vampiric rituals, I do wake up with a lot of energy. My nails grow, my skin
Mm.
is great, my hair is growing, and I'm good for like a month or two, depending what I'm doing and what I'm working. And exercise is important. It's like just so important to
Yes.
go to the gym and burn off that fucking energy. Because
Yeah, I do yoga. A lot of yoga, so I
well,
understand that.
the leaning experiences from doing yoga. Like me, I don't like yoga. I've tried. I just find it really just boring, and I probably should do it because I don't like it. But I'm the type of person that likes to go into the gym and feel the pain of burning my muscles. Like like I like the
Mhm.
hard stuff. But I know yoga is really really good. Like I just, um, but yeah, I know people who've had Kundalini experience as well in those poses and stuff.
Yoga it is boring. I'm not gonna lie, it is fucking
So
boring.
fucking
But
boring.
because I like stretching, yeah, yeah, it's fucking boring.
It's like, oh my god. Namaste.
Yeah,
um,
exactly. So
yes, you said you wanted to talk about what it's like being a female practitioner. What was your hi? Oh, hi everybody. Let's see if there's any questions out here. Um, okay,
the
we got.
chat has been going crazy.
I know. Okay, I didn't think everybody would be here at 10 in the morning. Okay, so we got hello everybody. Please remember to hit the like button. Aw, greetings. Legion of Lilith's here. Demetrius here. One of my great good friends, very very powerful magician. Occult TV's here. Yeah, yeah. What up? Okay. Occult TV says every time you cross the abyss, it transmutes you and transform. Oh, it just went away. Shit. The message, the comment. It strips away more and more of your old self. Yes. Ariman, yes. He can be considered an aspect of Lucifer. Um, yes. Well, I don't know about that. to be honest with you, because Lucifer has light in him. Ariman does not have light in him. Like Ariman is pure fucking darkness. He is out for one mission only, destroy everything. So that's
Yeah.
why a lot of people are kind of like uh, hesitant to work with him. But I find it seductive, and um, it's just, oh man. I saw Akamon, who is evil mind. Okay, there's 7 Archdevas, um,
Hmm.
who are emanations of Ahriman, because Ahura Mazda, who's the light and the sun god, um, one basically it's the same type of story as the Egyptians, with Apep and Ra Aman. Like, they were into nothing, and he wanted to to create, and he created without the dark, and then he made all of his things. It's the same storyline as that. Ahura Mazda made his angels, Ashpentas, and Ariman made the Devas as opposite things. So it's kind of like the opposite. You know what I mean? Um, but his mission
Have
is
you
like,
made a video?
I'm going to. I do. Last If you go further back, to last year of my stuff, I have a lot of stuff because I did The Path of Smoke, and I did Michael W. Ford's work, Draga, and I combined both of them. So Michael W. Ford's work is more about balance, but so he uses Hira Mazda too, and harnessing the powers, just energy. The Path of Smoke by Curtis Joseph is more about going down this path of pure destruction for alchemical purposes and going against the light, which will probably cause issues in your life because you're going against the light. So there's gonna be a lot of resistance, but the what you get out of it is going to be beneficial depending on what you. But what I did was bring them both in. So I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I wasn't like fully
Good.
destroyed life, because I didn't want to be homeless ever again. So I don't, you know, ever want to go through that shit again. So I'm very careful of how I do my work. But
Those are the trials, right?
fuck that. I've done it. Not doing it again.
Yeah, no.
No,
I
I'm
agree. I've never been homeless, but yeah, I can imagine it's tough.
very tough, and that was part of my initiation. But subconsciously, I knew I wasn't going to be there forever. But I experienced it, and I put my energy. Actually, when I was homeless, when I'm in survival mode, that's your truest self. So when you're in jail, when you're
Mm.
homeless, when you're on the streets, you're in survival mode, which shows you who you really are and how you can survive with nothing, um, which I did. And I understood what I am more. And I learned a lot about my spirituality because that's all I had to do was like, that's all I was focusing on, you know? But,
The
okay.
path. Wow. It seems very
I had a
like,
difficult,
I look at my path and I look at other people's path, and like we've all been through so much struggle.
yeah. Hmm. And I
And
don't,
actually, yeah.
sorry, I don't come from an abusive family. I have come maybe a little bit neglectful, because they didn't understand
Mm,
me, or they really didn't understand. They were good parents when we were young, but when we hit our teenagers, they had no fucking clue. They didn't know how to be
that's
parents. All kind of just said fuck this. Plus, they were still Christian mindseted and put that shit on us. Like, as long as I went back and said, I'll pray with you to Jesus and everything will be okay, you get accepted back. It's like the stupidest fucking thing.
right. And actually, that leads into what I wanted to ask you about. You're a woman on this path,
Hmm.
and I feel like us as women, we go through such unique challenges on the left-hand path. For example, I feel like women in this community are taken advantage of, or we're not taken as seriously, or people expect us to act like an anime girl, or sometimes,
Only in the bedroom.
right? Yeah. Or sometimes, people will just watch us for entertainment because it's like, oh, there are these beautiful hot chicks online talking about demons. Like, and they don't apply the information to their life. What do you think?
Well, I don't have that experience. I know where you're coming from because I've heard it from other women. But when I came into this path, I was confronted by men. All my whole life, they've always challenged me. in a negative way. They've always I
Mm.
have a lot of masculinity in me, right? And this whole path has taught me how to draw the feminine back into me because I was lacking that. I really thrived off my masculinity because of survival, because of the
Yeah.
shit that I went through, and I learned to be more masculine. So I never had problem with other women, but even with my channel, I don't have people um respect me so far. I've had a couple of crazy fucking people. I'm not gonna lie. There's some
Mm.
crazy stalkers I've had to deal with. Don't get the point, but that's because they're not sane. But I think as women, I don't. I try not to look at it as like because we're women they don't respect. I think it's all the way you deliver and how you handle things. Because everybody is an individual. Everybody listens to these occult channels and vibes with people's energy if they match their energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's hard to say, but like I've never been sexualized. I don't think. I don't know. I've never had that
Mm.
issue. I've had more of men wanting to have a witch war with me because they're intimidated. So it's like hard.
Wowza.
Yeah, I'm like you want a war with a female? Let's go. Stupid,
Yeah.
stupid. But I'm sorry if you had to go through that. Is that something you faced?
Well, I mean, as a so-called scarlet woman, I mean, naturally.
Get a big whore of Babylon.
Yeah, as a whore of Babylon, like I mean, I've had my experiences. And I mean, it took me a while to heal from sexual trauma. It took me a while.
So you see that? See, I got goosebumps. Okay. Because you've had sexual trauma, I never had sexual trauma. I had physical abuse, like not sexual. So I had to deal with that my whole life
Mm.
in every area of my life. And if you had sexual trauma when you were a child, perhaps it's carried on throughout that. You know, it's almost like we have you carry these energies within you, and people, these assholes or these predators pick up because there's all types of predators, right? So either you're like a psychological abuser, you're an emotional abuser, you're a sexual predator, but they tap into the people who have had that experiences and they see them as the victims and they can attack them,
Yep.
you know. um but yeah, skills, and I was creative, and I never followed authority. I just always thought I had the potential to be anything I wanted. But what society did to me was strip that fucking shit away, you know? Even my family, strip it away.
Right.
But that's what
Are
makes.
you still in contact with your family?
Yes. Oh yeah, we patch shit up. I love my family. They've learned a lot from me, and they've grown spiritually because of me. Um, my place in the family is on a respect level now. I do so much for them. I help them. I've healed them. I've done many things on them, energy wise, without them knowing, you know. But it's opened up
Mm.
in their older age from being fucking Christians. They don't even go to church anymore. They know there's hypocrisy.
Well, that's good. That's great.
Yeah,
Can you please share with me what type of sorcery you're doing? Because with my family, nothing, nothing.
it's just you have to change when you like because
Yeah.
I was I was a criminal. I was an addict. I would yell and scream. I was angry. I was violent. I hated everybody. Um, and then I changed. And then when I changed,
Mm.
they knew whatever I was doing is working, and they respect that. And that's how that happened. So they can respect anything that's changed me from being suicidal, and I was suicidal too, right? So and it wasn't God, and they know that, and they tried. They won't do it anymore. Like, don't preach God shit to me. I won't even talk to them. But whatever.
Mm.
So it's change.
So
Hmm?
they've seen you overcome these challenges and you've stepped into and embodied this new version of yourself, which obviously, when you change, everything around you changes,
Everything.
including people. So,
They have no
well
choice.
done on that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a, and it's funny because now I have a lot of responsibility. I have a
Mm.
lot of responsibility, but yeah, a lot of work. I mean, I'm 41, and I'm only now okay with who I am. So it took so being you guys being young and doing this, uh, it's just so amazing, you know. But
Thank,
but yeah, I I forget to keep
thank.
asking any questions here. Um,
I
Lucy, if
just
you
wanted to say I appreciate the encouragement. The reason why is because when you try to talk to family members about what you do, and you can just see the shame in their eyes, like they don't support you. It's really hard. So I find it funny that strangers can support you more than your own family members or even friends.
we are so grateful. We are so we live in a time where we can have technology and communicate with our occult family. As much as we might have differences, we could be there's nobody in my city that's like me, and I feel fulfillment when I'm doing stuff like this and I'm talking on FaceTime with my other occultist, whatever it is, that fulfills me. I don't need to go out there and look. Back in the day, they didn't have this technology. Even like what? Well, when did the FaceTime come out? Like 20 years ago? How long has this been like
Right.
this?
Yes.
Not that long, right? So everybody was probably mailing each other. I don't know. How do you? How did, I didn't even know about the cult. I had to like call out to the universe and ask for a mother because I only thought there was male, and I was like, no. If I have a mother entity, show me it. And then Anana came through and came on my YouTube, the goddess Anana, and I was like, huh, who's this? And then that's where the digging into stuff on YouTube was and led me to a bunch of shit. People didn't have that.
Right.
Like, it's hard to find that. You just have to understand spirits. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard when you love your family and they look down upon it because they think demons are, because they're scared. They're scared. They're
Mm.
because I remember when I was a child and I would pray to Jesus. I saw demons every time I prayed to Jesus and I was scared. When I didn't,
Wow.
I slept like a baby. I was like, what the fuck? And I was being tormented by entities my whole life. And I was like, this shit.
Mm.
Every time I'm calling out to Jesus and trying to get this, it's making it worse. It's making it worse. Until I said, you know what? What's up? What's up, Satan? I want to know what's going on. And that's when I opened I removed the fear. The fear was gone, and then the energy of Satan and the adversary came in me and revealed everything. And then I could look and approach spirituality in a way that resonated with me to my core. But you can't explain that to practicing Christians unless you say
Right.
unless what you have to do tomorrow is just explain their ancient gods, that you're working with ancient gods before Christianity, you know but then again they're like, well, there's only one god and there's not really. Why would Jehovah say don't worship any other gods? What other gods? What's he talking about? Like, so there is things.
Little do they know that Jehovah God just wants their energy. That's
Yeah,
why he doesn't want them to worship other gods. Duh.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that's their own path. Fuck it. That's your parents brought you.
Right?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, fuck it. You have fun. Have fun.
Exactly that.
Can you guys understand? Oh, cult. Tanya just asked us. Could you go into your guys' understanding of the dark feminine, dark goddess? Okay, Tamara, go ahead. You answer that one.
I actually did a video about this on my channel titled The Nature of a Dark Goddess. And in that video, I used the example of Kalima. How, when people look at her, she is depicted as, in some pictures, blue, yes, and in other pictures, she's dark, she's black.
Mm.
And there's another occultist I watch on YouTube. His name is Lee W. Johnson. He said that the reason why she is depicted as black is because she takes on everyone's like karma, the negative energy. She
Yeah,
carries that, right? And that's what makes her look so like dark and scary, and not because she's evil or whatever, it's because she has so much compassion to actually go out and carry everyone's karma.
you know, it's funny that you say that because when I was young, that was the type of person I was. I wanted, I when I was a child, I would. My mother's very snobbish, very beautiful, elegant. We don't talk to low class people, even though we weren't like rich or anything. But she had a very, very high standard on who we communicate, and I was always attracted to the struggling kids on the street, the poor ones, and I would go into their homes, and it was bad, but I would want to heal them and take in their pain and just heal them, you know.
Mm.
But what that did was kind of turn me into them. And I ended up being, even though I took in their energy and wanted to heal, it actually wasn't good for me because I didn't know what I was doing as a child. But as a female and a mother, that's what we do. We kind of like want to protect, and we want to um, take care and take the pain from. Well, I don't know if everybody is like that, but I was like that. You know, I don't know if
Mm. I
that,
was
but
also like that.
oh,
Trust
okay.
me, I'm a quadruple Pisces in my birth chart.
Oh fuck!
My sun in Pisces, my moon in Pisces, my Mercury in Pisces, my Mars in Pisces.
Holy fuck!
And my north node is in Scorpio, so it's another water placement.
All emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, Kalima. I have not worked. I've seen Kalima. I've seen her, but I have not worked with her yet. She has not called me yet. I usually wait for them to call me, you know.
That's
But
how it should be, right?
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so just to finish off that question, the divine feminine, she is a very compassionate being.
Hmm.
And I feel like like you said, as a mother, you want to help your child. You want your child to evolve. You want your child to do well in life. And I feel like it's the same with the divine feminine. She's always there with us.
Hmm.
Even when we reject her, even when we're angry at her, even when we don't want to listen to her, she's there.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
She's always just like, I feel like she's helping us even when we don't want help, in a sense.
Yeah. Well, they know they see they know what we are spiritually, right? So
Yes.
they see already who we are as gods. They know what species of god we are. They know our future. They know where we come from. They know everything. So if they're investing in us, because there are times where a lot of practitioners do turn away from this path and the entities don't give a fuck because I feel they already know their outcome of what they are, you know. Um, but as a mother myself with my daughter, there ain't fucking nothing she can do that would make me go away from her. Nothing. She fucking
Nothing.
done nothing. I love that girl forever. Fight for her forever. So,
And
like,
actually, as being an occult mom, how like how are you raising her? Like I want to know. because I want to be a mother one day, and I know it's gonna be a lot different as a mom that's heavily a practitioner in the dark arts versus just a normal mom. So like, can you give me like what you've been experiencing?
So me and my daughter have had a kind of a rough. Uh, so when my times of hardship, I never
Mm,
lied to my children. They saw every place I've been, even though they weren't with me. I made sure that they were somewhere safe while I was homeless. Okay, they weren't coming with me. It's not gonna happen.
mm,
But they knew, they saw. I never lied to them about what I was. Some things they didn't know about the drug addictions of how far it was, and they did. My daughter had no clue until I told her, like recently, of like what's up. She's 16 now, so we're very very close. She ended up having to stay with her father, who is a Jehovah Witness and very abusive
mm,
to me for everything. But I had no other choice to let him, because financially he's well off, and I knew he wouldn't physically harm the children, but he psychologically fucked her up. She was with him for 5 years, and every time she would come and visit me while I was trying to get my shit together, it was like I had worked with Azazel. I had to release the spells that were placed on her because it's heavy duty brainwashing of Jehovah, 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 Jehovah. It's fucking crazy. But she's a witch. She's a spiritual person, and she admires me. And it was supernatural. She would like come over here and watch the TV show Supernatural, and because she wasn't allowed to watch stuff at that. And I said, I love Lucifer. And she looked at me and she's like, I love Lucifer too. And I was like, what? She's like, I don't know, mom. I'm like, really? And that's when we opened up and I told her everything about how far, like they knew I was spiritual. And she did her first contract with Lucifer. We were able to get her out of the Jehovah Witness family situation. She's cursed now because of her, and she didn't want to curse her father in the beginning, but he started to really fuck around more. And I said, you have a right as a daughter to do what you feel like to bring balance back. I said, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but every curse that I do have done on my family has actually turned out better. It turned out in my favor. They're better people. So sometimes when we do curses, it's not like it's actually going to happen to them. Somehow gets manipulated and something changes in them, you know? And it did. Well, I can't really say that yet. We'll see what happens. But she is a very spiritual person. I don't push anything on her. If she wants to come down, and she's an excellent tarot card reader. Like, phew, so good, so good.
mm.
She has, when I work with energies down with in my basement, she kind of shares my experiences with me. She'd be like, Mom, who you working with? There's an entity in my room. Like, who's this? So she actually experiences what I'm experiencing in the astral realms a lot of times.
Wow.
Hmm.
Oof. That's beautiful.
Yeah, she's 16. I want her to enjoy her life. She just got a boyfriend. She was, a lot of things were taken away from her, and I'm trying to just let her be a happy, happy girl. She suffers from anxiety. So she can't go out and socialize because of this fucking cult. So we had to put her in therapy. I'm not putting her on medication. She can smoke fucking weed. I don't give a shit, but I'm not putting her on medication, for that. But she's doing really well. And she's really happy, and she's content and balanced, and that's all I care about.
That's all that really matters at the end of the day, right? Is your children's happiness.
My son, on the other hand, he's in university. so
Congrats.
he's very blocked. No,
Well, I mean, at least he may be able
he's
to use
starting
that. Mm-hmm.
he's starting to like he's very easily conformed, unfortunately. He will
Oh, okay.
so he was he liked Christianity, then he went to become an atheist, and now that he's studying some Catholicism in university, he's like, I think I want to be a Catholic. I'm like, holy fuck. But he knows what I am. And he makes fun of me. He's like, "Oh, you talking to your demons again, mom?"
I think it's very
Whatever.
interesting that you are an occult practitioner, but you sometimes, like, your kids may not get that gene
No,
necessarily.
I thought my kids were, because when I was young, I saw spirits. I'm like, when they were young, I'm like, did
Yeah.
I see anything? I'm like, do you see anything? No, they never saw anything. They didn't have the experiences that I've had. None of them have seen anything. Only when my daughter does rituals and she's focused on her spirituality, she's developing them, and she can feel energy, but she's never
Mm.
seen I've seen when I was a child. It is weird. I always thought a spiritual person would have, you know what? I think it skips a generation. I'm pretty sure their children will have it, you know, because
Mm.
my grandma was very spiritual. You have a son? That's like, I'm gonna, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna be a Catholic. I'm like, fucking, but whatever. Um, yeah, whatever. Uh, what else? Questions, guys? You guys have any questions for Tamara? Come on, let's see what we got. Please, how can I contact you privately? You can't. You can't. Also, Satan. I heard you talking about our boy Satan. Yeah. Um, talk about Satan. Your experiences. Hmm. I Satan. It's weird. Like I've worked. I feel like I haven't really connected to the Satan, but I feel also Belial or like Samael is Satan. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a title for the adversary, but I know there's also the being Satan itself, because when I do invoke the energy of Satan, it's very desires and flesh desires. And you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, um, I feel like that's the energy that I get, but I've seen him, but I also, like, in every pantheon there is that the true adversary, the one adversary. So it's kind of like, I don't know, what's your experience with Satan?
Satan.
Sorry, but Satan was the one that was he was the first one that opened up my mind from Christianity, and then Lucifer kind of came in and illuminated me. But it was when I called out to Satan with pure trust is when he came and revealed everything for me.
That's really great. I feel like Satan for me is heavy on psychic vampirism,
Hmm.
and just kind of learning to not only master the spiritual realm but master the material realm. Because I feel like the reason why the his pentagram is inverted, right,
Uh-huh.
is because we're not only supposed to just master our spiritual side, we're also supposed to master the physical.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
we use what we gain in terms of our spiritual power to manifest the life that we desire. We become, he teaches us how to be creators.
Yes. Yes. That's what I see. And a lot of people forget it. Like, I see some people just only practicing spirituality, and like they're living the way that they shouldn't have to live. You know what I mean? And it's like, we're here on this hell, because I do believe this isn't this is not heaven.
Yes, yes,
This is an
yes.
illusion. Everything's beautiful, but we all know how fucking cruel and painful this realm is.
100%.
It is, and humans are disgusting. Um, you do, but anyways, uh, is mastering this realm, and that's hard. It's hard. It's
Hard.
probably
It's
harder.
hard.
It's probably even harder than spirituality, because it's fucking hard. It's
It's
hard.
really hard. And as someone that just got out of the clip bath, right? So what I'm planning on doing going forward now is, of course, grounding everything, as you say, mastering this physical reality. So my plan going forward is to link up with my partner,
Mhm.
and I would love for us to be full-time professional occultists, giving out our services to people and just uploading videos to teach people this knowledge.
That's the big.
Um,
I
you know,
think that's the
yeah.
biggest. That's the biggest thing for us is finding our partners, and then they're usually across the world,
Mm.
and then us trying to get together and be with that person so we can
Drives
continue.
me crazy. Drives
Yeah,
me so crazy.
finding that person, and because you know what power comes from that, and there's nothing wrong with saying
Mm.
that because every divine has a counterpart. Everything has a counterpart. They all have their. So we want that. That's our biggest driving force is to find that, and most of the time it's far, far away.
Like,
Like
like
you're in
after
South
all the
Africa.
pain, after all the pain and suffering I've gone through, then the universe is like, "Hey, Tamara, I'm gonna give you a partner, but guess what? He's gonna be all the way across the world."
Oh man, so horrible. But you guys are young enough. You guys can make it work. And you're not tied down to children or any.
No,
You don't have setbacks where you guys can actually make the move, and one of you guys can take that leap and go live with each other and try to build a life. You
that's
know,
the plan going forward.
yeah,
That's the plan.
going, yeah. Um, all deities have consorts. Yeah, my aunt. Hey, you obviously practice Heka and Egyptian magic, right? I saw
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I have to touch base about that. Like, I love Egyptian. How did you connect with Nephthys?
Sorry, can you please say that again?
Did you connect with Nephthys?
Netlys.
Nephthys.
Okay, I don't know if I'm not
Nephthys.
hearing correctly, but
Nephthys. The sister of Isis. You never heard
okay,
of her?
I don't know if this is gonna sound bad on my side, but I've never heard of it.
What? She's like a Lilith. I'm gonna have to show you her. That's you. I can't believe that. And
I've
that's
never
the
heard of it.
yeah. Nobody talks about her. She's Set's consort. She
Oh wow! Please
she.
teach me, cause yeah, like I've never heard of it.
I see nobody ever talking about her. She is the most. She is like Lilith. She is like the divine. She's vamp. She is like. Have you ever seen Queen of the Damned? With
No,
with.
I haven't.
She's like Akasha, the Queen Egyptian vampire. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I gotta show
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go read up about her, and
Yeah, I'll
then
send you some stuff
definitely.
that I made so you can feel her
Mhm.
energy and be like, because I
Okay.
find that not too many practitioners really know who she is, and she's one of the darkest energies I've ever experienced. Beautiful and dark, but she's so hidden. She doesn't want people to know who she is. It's really weird. But like,
Hmm.
she sets consort.
Whoa. So, what
Isis,
have your experiences with her
Isis.
been like then?
Oh, she taught me so much magic, so much heck.
Mm.
She taught me how to embody and mummify my targets in like a fucking crazy way. Yeah, she taught me, and at, she helped me to astral travel into Egypt. Um, I got to see the Nile. I
Wow,
got to,
that's
yeah.
beautiful.
She's just fucking dope. Um, I find too with the Sumerians, when I work with the Sumerian current, they open up that part where I can astral travel back in time, and that's the part I love is when I can see back in time and go back and visit shit like that.
Mm.
But yeah,
Thank you for
I'll send you stuff. Yeah.
thank you for letting me know
It's so
about
funny.
it.
Nobody. It's like, who is this? Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I was questioning myself as a practitioner, like, wait, am I supposed to know about her? Like, you know what I mean?
You know,
um,
because I was calling out to Isis. Right. I wanted to work with Isis.
mm,
pushed me to Nephthys. I was like, Nephthys. I'm like, oh, I'm like, this is, I was like, oh. And then I started to do some rituals with her, and boom, she came through. And I totally got seduced by her. And it's,
That's really great.
mhm.
I mean, right now, currently, I'm working with this energy, Agrat Mahalat. I don't know if
Oh,
you've heard of
yeah.
her.
Yes. One of
Yeah,
Lilith's
so
four
I've been
demons.
invoking her.
Hell.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've been invoking her as of late. So I'm just like I'm taking my time to get familiar with newer spirits and to just know what their energies are about before moving on to different beings. So right now I'm currently working with her and heavily with Belial at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I wait. I like to feel their energy, get to know them, and uh yeah. Fuck, where'd they go? Okay. Can you guys speak about how you were able to recognize these different energies, entities were just what? Hold on. I don't know why these messages. Okay. Can you guys speak about how you were able to recognize these different energies, entities when you were just starting out? Huh. I'm not sure if I understand that question. Like, how do we know if they were demons?
Yeah,
Because
I think it's like
they look like
feeling
them.
a different vibration of them. Like, okay, I know this one is Isis. I know this one is Lilith. I know this one is Hecate. Like, just feeling the differences in their energies.
Okay,
I
so
think
then
that's what he's asking.
yeah, okay, so you got to work with them for like a month at least in the beginning, so you can
Yeah.
feel them. You're not gonna understand a spirit if you invoke them one time. It's like you're calling them. When
Mm.
you call them, they don't answer. You pick up the phone, you call them. You gotta keep calling, and then all of a sudden, their energy comes in, and you start to embody that energy. Like you can see it, you can feel it. The energy in your
Yeah.
changes. Like you become a if you work the Egyptian current, you become Egyptian. Like I see videos of me, I see
Mm.
Egyptian within me. Like you literally become the entity the more you work with them. So don't just work with it. Don't just call them one time. You're not going to understand it. You have to really work with it and show and be devoted and disciplined, and you will see.
Especially because also I like also being courteous, so I give them offerings as well. And sometimes I don't always have um and
Offering.
maybe I may not have enough at the moment to give offerings. So it's like I don't know, I like the traditional
Mhm.
witchcraft in a sense to give them incense, candles, wine, and just get, you know what I mean? The whole shebang.
Sorry, my coffee came up.
It's are you okay?
Sorry. Um. Oh, I was gonna say I don't always give them offerings, and then something just came up. They're like, "You bitch, give us offerings."
I
I'm
mean,
not
you don't have to
gonna lie.
give them
Sometimes,
offerings
sometimes,
all the time.
no, you don't.
But
Sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, because I find once you make the connection with the spirit and you've done all the devotion, when it's easier for me to call them in, and they already know that they're living within me. They can feed off my life force if they want to need it, if they need it. But I always do have incense, always candle. I offer the candle. My hair,
Mm.
Persian current with Ariman, they like burnt hair, they like dead matter. But that's to draw the energy in. The more offerings you give, the more they're gonna be drawn into you. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, when I'm really into it and I do a full out, blown out ritual and I go out of the way, then yeah, like you can feel that energy 10 times more. It all depends what you want, I think. But yes, and
Right.
off they need energy. They need to be acknowledged and respected, and that's what they like. It's like inviting someone to your home. You're offering them a cup of tea or a beer.
Exactly that. I mean, you wouldn't approach a stranger on the street asking them for a favor
No,
with nothing.
exactly. They'd be like, "Fuck you."
Exactly. It's like, who are you?
Yeah. Oh, you got it. You got it. Sure. Let's see what. Oh, I think she means discernment. Okay, just yeah, you just got to work with them, and you will, and you got to work on your astral senses. You got to meditate. You got to ask the spirits to remove blockages so you can perceive them better. Um, You got to do visualization. You got to understand how energy feels, and the way you do that is learn basic elements. The element, like learn what fire feels like, learn what earth energy feels like, crystal energy. You got to learn how to feel energies, to feel spirits.
You're so right. And I wish that I knew this starting out on my journey because I didn't have a mentor, believe it or not. I didn't until I basically met my partner. I was kind of just learning on my own,
Mhm.
watching different YouTubers, uh, reading some books, but I'm more of a practical wanting to apply the information. And it's like you're saying, these basic things like learning to master the four elements or the five elements: earth, fire, water, air, spirit,
Yep.
knowing
Ba-
how to work with candles, knowing how to ground energy,
Yep.
knowing how to work with water, whether
Hmm.
internally like emotional balance or even just like externally with maybe you want to do a spiritual bath or learn about how to make holy water, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like just knowing about the elements
And you have to
and
have
then applying that.
applying it and have a creative mind. Be creative. You know,
Yes.
be creative, or create, or imagination, being creative. Allow your imagination to take form with these spirits, and then sooner or later you're gonna have an experience where you're gonna be like, holy fuck. It will happen. Just don't think it's not gonna happen. It should happen eventually. Something should happen.
So this weekend, I decided to fall
Oh,
asleep with Belial's in on, right? And I've
okay.
never done this before because usually I just invoke the spirit and then I go on about my day.
Hmm.
But I fell asleep with Belial's in on this weekend. Next thing I wake up, boom, someone donates $400 to me out of nowhere. And I'm just like, why haven't I done this before?
That's dope. See,
Right?
Belial is very earthy too, right?
Hmm.
Governs over the earth, which is money, which is all of the earthly desires. That's great. I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe there's something about the hypnagogic state I think is very powerful in magic. Very powerful. So, in the manifestation community, like they always talk about affirmations and mantras and like that shit works.
Okay, this is my opinion on that. Uh, so I've tried. Okay, no. Um, hmm. Like I've tried like the affirmations of positive thinking, and it was almost like the more that I was trying, the more I was resisting it. It wasn't until
Mm.
I kind of just let it go. I don't know how to explain it. I do find numerology very, very, very powerful for manifesting. Uh, I had something to say, but it just left me, so don't mind me. But
Okay.
yeah, fuck it.
So
uh,
you're not an affirmations person.
no, I will. I will. No, I tried. I'm no. I'm not really. I'm
And
more,
it's okay.
not really. I'm more.
Different things work for different people.
Yeah, I'm more. I do the ritual. I invoke a spirit, and I forget about it. For the money, though,
Mm.
yeah. Like, if I need money, um, okay. So I'll only get extra money if I need it. You know what I mean? Like if I'm hurting really bad and I ran out of money and I got a bill to pay and I'm stressing out, then it comes in. It's always when I'm really getting scared and I'm
Mm.
getting anxiety, then it comes in. But if I just want it for extra, like fucking stupid reasons, like, just being greedy, it's not coming in. It's only when I need it.
That's interesting, right? How the
Mhm.
universe works like that. It will just give you exactly what you need in the moment and like
Um,
nothing more.
Nothing more. Well, because in the long run, it's my fault that I didn't save and I was careless and I was overspending and I wasn't being responsible. You know,
Understandable. I think we've all been there.
Yeah, you just, and then sometimes you fall in that thing, well, I always get money anyways, and you just, which is true. I'm not or that's one thing I like about this path too is and I've talked to many practitioners is when they really do need money, it does come through. We are
Mm,
without, somehow, some way, something will happen,
very, very true. Yeah.
Hmm. Does anyone use the magic circle? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Well, you know what? I don't use the circle. I kind of am the circle. That's how
Same. I don't
I
use circles.
no, I don't banish. I don't do anything like that. I'm too fucking lazy to do all that shit. I just
Like, I had someone DM me on Instagram, and she was all like, I'm a beginner at demonology, like, don't I need a circle? And I was telling her, no, like, don't fear the spirits. Don't, just approach them with respect and with a willingness to want to work with them. Don't fear them. And she kept saying, no, but I'm a beginner. What? And I'm just like, you're not ready to work with them.
uh-uh. She's gonna get scared. They're gonna scare her. Purpose.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, I'm also not a circle person.
Mm-mm. But what I do like, I used to use a triangle. I made a big triangle thing. Now, that helps, all that stuff helps you in the beginning to focus and to draw forth the energy. But then you get to a certain point where
Mm,
you kind of just do it naturally eventually. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
yeah, you just learn how to do that. But it comes with experience and practice.
Most definitely, yeah.
Okay, couple more questions, and it's been what, an hour? It's almost been an hour. Well, it's a little bit over than an hour. We're both using up our data, so hold on. uh, I love Thomas Carlson's book, Kabbalah, Klipoth, and Enigmatic Magic. That's awesome. I love the Goetic spirits.
Me too.
I do.
Love them
Yeah,
so much.
they always come back.
Mm,
But it's funny with me. I've only worked with like a group of them. There's been other ones I've tried to reach out to, but there was no connection. It's like just a
okay.
set group that kind of come back.
I don't think we're supposed to work with like a lot of them, because that could be too chaotic
I
with
think
all
so.
those energies. So it's
Mhm.
good that you have like a set few that you're loyal to and they're loyal to you. I think
I
that's
think so.
fine.
I think that builds more of a trust and
Yes.
a learning of each other and a respect for each other. Like, it's like, let's say you're working with Belial, and Belial has been giving you this one thing, and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to go to this other entity and ask them for the same thing Belial's been providing you with. Like, that's kind of like disrespectful. You know what I mean? Like, why are you going to go over there when I've been doing all this for you? Fuck you.
Mm. And for me, I think respect is a huge thing when it comes to working with spirits. Because, I mean, as a human, naturally, you want respect from people as well.
Yeah.
So, why would you approach a spirit and just be all chaotic with them?
Well, you're stupid if you do. Like, if you don't see, that's, I think people who come from the Christianity side, will have more of a respect for them because we understand their chaos and why people fear them, especially Christians. But
Mhm.
um, once you, sorry, I have a hmm, yeah. What was I saying? My mind just.
And I'm listening all intensely here, with every word that you're saying, and then next thing you forget. It's okay though.
Okay, okay, what I want to say is like, okay, so people who work with demons and stuff like that, and then they go back to Christianity and they say, well, because the demons turned on me. Like, I think what happens is they work with entities and they still have a fear of them. And because you have that,
Yeah.
them, they bring the fear out, and they know that instead of confronting that fear, you're going to run back to Christianity. And usually, and that's what a lot of these people do. I've heard stories of people that do that, and I'm like, how can you go back to Christianity and
I don't
fear?
understand that.
But I do think, like for me, if I did shoot me in my fucking head, ever
Right?
betray these entities and go back, I think I would be scared of them. I think that fear of the Christianity, and they would probably put the fear, because when you're working with them, they remove the fear. When you're not working with, they place,
Mm.
because I can look at a demon and think they're so beautiful and they're so cool. Other people are like, oh, I'm like, oh my god, I want to fuck that thing. It's like, so like, but
Mm.
us, yeah.
Like, I sometimes even like looking at photos of shadow people.
Yeah, you have a lot of experience with shadow people. I don't really, like, I do see shadows, especially when I work with the
Mm.
uh they fucking in my room, shadowing things, moving around, stuff like that. But I've never seen, I mean, if I sit in the dark, if I take all my lights off, my eyes can start to manifest shadows.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I've never worked with them. Have you?
I mean, I've had.
Uh-oh, she got, what happened? Uh-oh, tomorrow. All right, you know what? I'll just end this now. And then I will have Tamara back on my channel if you guys want, and we can talk about other things. Go check out her channel. She's amazing. And that's it. Have a great Sunday. I love you guys. Thanks for joining in. Bye.